This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech Basil here, comparing the Sony Xperia Z3 with the LG G3. The LG G3 has a 2K screen. That's really what separated it from the crowd. It's a massive 2K screen, 5.5 inches with a pixel density of 538. The Sony Xperia Z3, however, doesn't up the resolution. Instead, it opts for a slimmer chassis and an improved battery camera experience across the board. We'll have to wait to get the phone in for review before we can confirm or deny any of that, but what we can do is give you a superficial comparison of the two. So, pulling in the LG G3 into frame, we can see first off the difference is design. You've got a plastic body versus a metal body. This is most apparent when you look at the back of the G3. It's a removable back, despite the faux metal finish. It feels really good for a plastic device, but when you do hold it alongside the Z3, that's when the Z3's premium factor really does stand out. The Z3 is also available in a range of colors, just like the G3. If we're to take a look at key design elements, on the front of the Xperia Z3 you've got stereo speakers up top and bottom underneath some grooves. You've got on-screen buttons and a front-facing camera. Similar kind of setup, save for the stereo speakers, to the LG G3. On the right-hand side, no buttons on the LG G3, but you do have a micro SD card slot and a micro SIM slot on the Sony Xperia Z3. Power button, volume rocker, and a 2-stage camera button, which we've pressed, very nice, spongy. And it has click feedback, perfect. You've also got a new rounded corner system on the Xperia Z3. What this means is that if you were to drop your Xperia Z3, smash, you're actually going to have that more rubberized section absorb the impact, so it probably won't dent as readily. On the base of the LG G3, you've got a 3.5mm jack and a micro USB connector. On the left, no buttons on the LG G3. You've got on the Sony Xperia Z3 a magnetic dock connector, a lanyard connector, and a micro USB charging connector. Up at the top, 3.5mm headphone jack on the Z3 and an infrared blaster on the LG G3. Flipping it round and you've got some key differences in terms of the cameras. You've got a 13 megapixel optically image stabilized sensor with a dual flash 111 call on the LG G3. You've also got laser autofocus for pinpoint precision. It does focus very quickly and does really well in our tests. On the Sony Xperia Z3, you've got a 20.7 megapixel sensor with new improved wide angle of 25mm, and you've got an improved ISO rating, the world's first smartphone camera apparently to have an ISO of 128,000. You've also got a flash, NFC contact points across both, and a loudspeaker at the base of the LG G3. Pulling the fronts into frame, and you can very clearly see you've got some different user interfaces despite the fact they both run Android. Both have horizontally scrolling home screens. LG has this really quirky smart tips section, which is kind of like a blink feed type My Magazine UX type thing, but it does none of what they do. Sony's opted for entirely traditional. You just have home screens that you can add or remove, which feel significantly lighter. Whether it is or isn't is a different story. Pull down the notifications tray, you can see brightness controls in the LG G3 as well as volume controls, and you've also got some toggles at the top of the screen. You've got quick settings toggles at the top of the LG G3 by flipping to the quick settings option. As far as the applications tray goes, horizontally scrolling list as you can see on both, but you do have an overview so you can control how everything looks on the Sony Xperia Z3, whereas your widgets overview is on a tab on the LG G3. We can also long press the LG G3 in order to add widgets that way, and this is also how we can control our wallpaper. All in all, the Android experience is going to be very subjective. You can apply themes across both, you can really shake them up, change your wallpaper, but generally speaking, you're going to get everything in terms of app support from one as you would on the other, except for PlayStation 4 support. The Sony Xperia Z3 introduces remote PS4 streaming, so if you have your PlayStation 4 hooked up, TV off, you can still stream via Wi-Fi to this screen, and that is recommended for use on the same Wi-Fi network, but it will also work across different Wi-Fi networks. As far as hardware goes, you've got Qualcomm Snapdragon processors in both Snapdragon 801s clocked at 2.5 GHz, 3 GB of RAM, although the Sony Xperia Z3 is only available with 3 GB, whereas the LG G3 is available with 3 GB or 2 GB, depending on the variant you get, the 16 or 32 GB variant. Both micro SD expandable, both have Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi Direct, Bluetooth 4.0, etc. You can also expect Cat 4 LTE on both, so connectivity is going to be very similar, save for that PS4 full functionality like we said. All in all, the screen is still unsurpassed on the LG G3, and the Sony Xperia Z3 won't appeal to anyone who has bought an LG G3 as a replacement, obviously, unless you've obviously got that PlayStation 4. But the Sony Xperia Z3 is a welcome addition for anyone who maybe has an LG G2 or anyone who wants to upgrade from the Sony Xperia Z1. Hopefully you've enjoyed our side-by-side comparison. If you have, make sure you click that like button. If you like the channel, make sure that you subscribe. And if you've got any questions about either the LG G3 or the Sony Xperia Z3, fire them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.